Claire Aubrey, Matt Potter, Jeffrey Clark are officials. And Fordham starts with the basketball through a Carrie Jacobs.
And this is a tough, aggressive defense already getting a steal with Evans.
Evans soars to the rim and slams it down.
And in a conversation with Mike McPile, his first concern was dialing up the pressure. VCU guarding full court and guys getting into the passing lanes. This is a team that likes to switch everything. They swarm a very rugged approach to them defensively.
Henry gives to Reeves, leading scorer in the Atlantic 10, about 17 and a half a contest. Jacobs, and now Henry puts up over 10 shots a game. Henry puts his shoulder, got swatted by Djokovic. VCU can run. Jennings to the back and to the line.
So the ability to stop the clock and put points on the board, it's invaluable.
Pressure coming from VCU. Jacobs struggling in the backcourt, 4 seconds to get it over. Henry with 2, with 1, got it over. There's a look at the Fordham starting 5 unchanged. Can Whitbourne provide the physicality necessary inside? A big question coming into this game. You do have plenty of size between Whitbourne and Schulte. Average combined 18 boards a game. Whitbourne flips it up and in.
And this is where Fordham's front court has to impose their will. While they may be long and lanky, they don't have much bricks in the back pocket. So if we're going to go with strength, Fordham's got to be able to use that to their advantage.
The VC starting 5, Hill's first start, 11th lead scorer in the conference, all off the bench. Left that one short. Replaces Nick Lewis, who has started all 22 games this year. Point. Henry drives on Tracy. Ball got knocked away. Carried forward by Jennings. Hill flies to the rim, kicks it back out. Jennings for 3. Not that time. The three-point shooting on the floor for VCU is wild.
They've got 4 guys shooting 35% or better. So really, it's pick poison if you're Fordham's defense, whether you want to guard the interior or guard the perimeter.
Schulte ties it, rolling down the lane. So an iffy start for Fordham. Got blocked, turnover at half court to a slam. We're on level pegging now.
And I talked about VCU switching. That's going to allow miss. That's something Loyola Chicago was able to take advantage of throughout the first half and built an early 15-point lead in that game.
Evans for 3, that's good. Barry Evans is 30% on the year, the one guy in the starting 5 that's not over 35%.
And that's a 16-made triple, and if he's there in the corner, that's going to be an issue for him, being able to rotate and close out those easy threes.
Whitbourne knocked away by Jennings. Lobbed ahead to Evans and stolen by Reeves. Takes Tracy off the dribble. Reeves floats from the lane.
Day-Day Reeves is shooting nearly 50% from inside the three-point line. He does such a great job of knowing when to get to that A10 to the paint and either decide to get all the way downhill or pull up for that mid-range.
Reeves has scored in double figures every game he's played this season. Djokovic was able to sneak that up over Schulte and in.
You know, he only had 7 points in 27 minutes against Loyola Chicago. Miles Rubin was really able to have a way for the moment. You've got to hope that Jack Whitbourne can come up with similar success against the smaller Djokovic.
Schulte spots another big in the post. Whitbourne will bang inside and kicks it back out. Reeves a triple. High arcing rebound, snagged Djokovic out of the hands of Jennings. Hill cross court, Tracy into the corner, Evans. Now Tracy. Rebound Reeves.
You're going to see a lot of 5-out offense from this VCU team. So while they won't be in the paint, they'll still try to crash, but they're looking to play through the perimeter first and foremost before you see those and different movements afterwards.
And look at the switch you were just able to pick up. Reeves, Jacobs, off the heel, rebound Jennings.
And again, when you do get a favorable switch, it's up to Fordham to get it identified and take advantage.
Djokovic, nice finish past Whitbourne. The transfer from Xavier, then the College of Charleston, and now a top 15 scorer in the A10 at VCU.
Just completely different mindset. Went 2 of 9 against Loyola Chicago. He's made his first 2 shots, and he's been aggressive knowing that he's got to guard the bigger Whitbourne.
Second most free throws made and attempted in the Atlantic 10. Djokovic will get his. Schulte. Evans snatches the board. 5 minutes gone in the first half. We played about 3 uninterrupted minutes. Jennings back to Hill. Drives on Reeves. Whitbourne got a piece. Still 10 to shoot. Jennings against Henry. Muscled it up. Jacobs cleans the glass.
And you made a note of these being uninterrupted, no stoppage. You want that favors VCU. They have such great conditioning just a while before they're able to wear down their opponents. Christian Henry here.
Obviously, none of them played in that game. Plenty of changes both ways. Comes up top to Tyrell Ward. And Ward dragged that pivot. Triple from Djokovic, good measure, but obviously not going to. Fordham does for a core. And Abbas Badija in off the bench. That's athleticism that they've added to that front line.
Yeah, Mike McPile wanted to start with more size in Jack Warren and Akira Jacobs, but now you match this athleticism, match this length, and Orr and Bodija both fit the bill for a matchup like this.
VCU has won their last 5 games since dropping back-to-back contests with Slew, who looked like a real in the A-10, and George Mason. That's foul on Ahmad Noel.
And on that possession, we didn't see VCU switch off on Day Reeves. So I'm wondering if Phil Martelli is going to make a concerted effort. You can switch off everything else, but I don't want you to switch off either Reeves or Henry.
Henry curls around the high screen from Schultz to Reeves. Henry off the mark, and will run out.
And those aren't the three-point shots Mike McPile is looking for. He's told us in the past, this team shoots a better percentage when they the paint first and they spray the ball out for open threes. When they're just working the perimeter and settling for three-point shots, that's when they're out there offensively.
349th in the country this year shooting threes, 29%. But there are better shots to be taken, and Bell found a decent one in the paint for VCU.
And that was a problem GW had. After a while, when they got to the middle of the paint, the free throw line, they just didn't want to take those mid-range jumpers. But Bell's been nearly double figures during 10 play. He's been confident shooting well over 50%. He's capable of knocking down that line jumper.
Bounces underneath, Bodija. That got played with and carried forward by Hill. It's 4 minutes without a point for Fordham. Djokovic, offensive foul.
See back screen from Lesmond to try and set up Bodija, but great denial, though, by the VCU defense.
Schultz offers the screen. Reeves fades away to the free throw line and hits at the horn.
If you're Lazar Djokovic, you have to come over quicker than that. You know Day Reeves is in the mid-range game. You're right there on the opposite elbow. You've got to come over harder and close out.
Evans spins and got as friendly a roll as the Bronx can provide.
And with Schulte playing drop coverage, Barry Evans has about 3 or 4 steps to decide what he wants to do with the ball. So you're giving him that momentum to get to the rim. And I think if you're Schulte, you've got to step up a couple of feet to at least keep Evans honest and not allow him a direct line to the basket.
Rikus Schulte turns and slots it in.
And you've also got to make Barry Evans work on the other end. If he's going to try and outwork you offensively, you've got to attack him in the paint as well.
Evans has 7 to VCU. Reeves has 6 to 4 for Fordham. Djokovic turns, fires, drops. Give him half a dozen.
Again, 2 different approaches in the paint for Djokovic. Uses that shot fake to get Schulte to react late, and from there able to use that turnaround hook shot.
And the goal for Fordham coming in, Djokovic, very adept three-point shooter. Keep him out of the paint has been the goal. Reeves, float game not nearly strong. Offensive rebound, Bodija rolls out. Evans knocks it down and starts it the other way for VCU. Evans kick, Hill for 3. Schulte snatches the rebound, his second.
And that's what makes VCU so dangerous. 4 of their 5 guys on the court have a good enough handle, start transition, and get out on the break. It's just so dangerous because you don't know who's going to bring it up, and it's hard to stop the ball once it does get past midcourt. And Barry Evans just so versatile with that length.
Reed to the corner, Rora Core glances off the front rim, and the run out is on, up to Tracy. Tracy goes splaying out into the want either Henry or Reeves on the floor at all times. Henry came in, Reeves took a seat. Marcus Green waits to enter for Fordham in a moment. No problem with the full court pressure off the inbound. 8.5 to play in the opening half. Henry tried to get downhill. Got stayed off, throws into Whitbourne. Whitbourne fell out. Evans pops it ahead. Tracy through the lane.
You don't want to get in their ears. You want them to work things out, and you trust that they can get the job done.
I look at Phil Jr. and Jimmy, and I think spitting image fell right off the same tree. Whoa! Brandon Jennings elevates.
And he's one of multiple VCU players who have verticals over 40 inches. These guys can play above the rim, even though they're a top 5 three-point shooting team. It's a great balance on all 3 levels from this up-tempo offense.
Oh. You need a good rebound to get up like that and have the putback slam, but there's an athleticism that's required. Not many possess. Whitbourne goes up for the rebound, but Hill able to yank it down off the miss by Roar Akor. Kick out to Hill, who earned his first start of this season for VCU. Tracy,
and with Louis Lesmond there in the back, he's going to have to handle that from Jadrian Tracy.
VCU 50% from the field. Fordham just 7 of 22. They've managed to get 4 more shots to this point, forcing 5 VCU turnovers. Jacobs. A little hop step in the lane, nothing to it. Green, 3 to shoot. Jacobs heaves. That did draw the rim and tip back out by Green. Back over to Jacobs, gets inside. Whitbourne gives it back up, not once, not twice. Whitbourne again, turns, got fouled.
Shot, but they call it on the floor.
Those are Rose Hill colored glasses that you're wearing, I think.
Maybe, perhaps.
It's the 4th team foul. Each team's got 4. Around Whitbourne, lowers his center of gravity, and shoots up over Jennings, didn't fall. Cold shooting night for Fordham, 27%. Green got a piece.
4 blocks, they average 4 blocks for the season. So even though they're not the bigger front court, their bigs have made their presence felt as shot blockers more than we've seen from Fordham so far.
And they're +4 on the board, so Fordham will miss a number of 3-point shots, and they get a lot of offensive rebounds off. Not the case tonight. Reeves trying to change the momentum a bit. Evans forward back at the last stop for VCU. Whitbourne got inside. That fell off the rim. Well defended by Bell, who did all he could despite the height disadvantage.
And those are those instances of flow where you don't get in transition, so you go out to the half court. Jack Whitbourne gets a look at the rim, just finish.
Jennings drops off, and off the window, Tyrell Ward. And Fordham.
He beat LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first round. Do you remember that? Then they got swept.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Huh.
That's what he's most for me.
Henry curls, throws in to Shinta, got swatted out by Keyshawn Mitchell. Transferred in for Bryant alongside the head coach Martelli. 3 is on the way and good. Tyrell Ward.
Both Evans and Mitchell came over with Martelli Jr. from Bryant, and for Keyshawn Mitchell at 6'11", he has size. For matchups like these against bigger front courts, that's where you bring him in off the bench.
Reeves couldn't respond. Mitchell pulls in the board. 14 game all of a sudden. On the drive, the kick up top. Henry stole it and gives off Reeves. Reeves just did get it in with Jennings pursuing.
And for Fordham, it's a thin margin of error when you want to be selective in terms of pushing the pace and going tempo to match VCU. They want to stay methodical on half court for the most part. Turnover, they want to go out on the run.
Mitchell for 3. That'll hit up off the shot clock, and Fordham head sluggish by their own admission last time out. And they've certainly shaken off cobwebs since. Reeves goes to work here for Fordham. He's got 8. Henry way off, and the tip out goes to Jennings.
And something I'm noticing, he was blowing up all of Fordham's off-ball and on-ball screening action. They're not allowing the half-court offense allowing the sets to play out as they would. Everything's being disrupted, and it's forcing Fordham to play a little bit more ISO that they want. As Christian Henry here called for the foul, but if you're going to do big things in a season.
Reeves. A block by Michael Bell. Sounded like a volleyball spike. Hill, the mismatch on Jacobs. Djokovic straight away. Got shoulder in the air. Elevates, rebounds Mon.
And Mike McPile will take that. Djokovic can knock down that three, but didn't look comfortable at the top of the key. Decided to put the ball down on the floor instead and got nothing.
Fordham trying to get back into it. VCU trying to blow it open. And an offense.
Some sort of separation, but you can't do that with the official staring right at you.
Evans turns. Bell follows his own miss. Bodija able to grab it off the floor. Under 2 minutes to go in this opening half. Schulte. Reeves. He is fouled game in conference despite shooting 17% from three. Misses the front end of a 1-and-1. And Fordham just one bucket in their last 15 tries down on that end. Evans high up off the glass past Bodija.
And VCU was just going on a scoreless drought of over 3. So Fordham, an opportune time to cut into this double-digit deficit, and they still find themselves down by 14.
Well, that's a nice working theory, or it was. Reeves getting crafty with it. He's got a lot of black jerseys around him, and he finds Schulte waiting at the base of the ladder.
And that's going to be the strategy. Whenever Day gets that deep in the paint, you're going to send 2, 3. There'll be 3 black jerseys around him. It's up to Reeves, though, to use that playmaking ability, averaging 4 assists during conference play. So he's shown the capability to have vision and find his teammates.
He's got 3 tonight. Bell. Jennings. 7 rebounds for Jennings to go with 4 points and 3 dimes. 3 to shoot. Hill pulls the trigger and hits from downtown.
With Shulga and Bamasil and Zeb Jackson, just not enough minutes to go around. But now that he's gotten his spot in the rotation, he's taken the reins and he hasn't looked back.
Going to let the clock run down. Now Henry starts the action. Bodija stripped. And that will escape the baseline.
That third foul, but now you get a chance here. Go defense for offense.
Thrown up toward Jacobs. Jacobs falls in. 2 seconds. Got to get it up quick. Noel when he puts on a cape.
And that's where you hope the high screen and rolls, especially for Christian Henry. He loves to get to that mid-range area, as does Day Reeves. So can you get some screen assists to create enough separation? And now for Fordham defensively, can you play man-to-man? Can you mix up some zone? Can you disrupt the harmony that VCU has built?
Hill from the baseline. Schulte went underneath Djokovic. Djokovic saying, I was shooting. He did not win that argument. By the way, Fordham did make a change to start this second half. They've decided to bring Rohrer Core into their first 5, alongside Henry, Schulte, Jacobs, and Reeves. 14 to shoot, chased off the line. Jennings swings it around to Evans. Evans turns, somehow got it out to Tracy for 3. It looked all wrong until it was just right.
I mean, that's what we call offense by accident for Barry Evans. He can do no wrong. Slips, still finds Tracy for that 3-ball corner pocket. And VCU now has extended it to 16. And again, this is a good possession. Good job by Akira Jacobs to at least force some baseline. Slips up, but how about the heads-up play? Kicks it out, almost a no-look, but a no-look not by design, but by just sheer force.
It expands VCU's advantage to 16. Henry feigns in the post, comes out to Jacobs. 5 to shoot. Reeves has to go with 3. Reeves lost the handle, got it up before the shot clock, but did not draw the rim. And Jimmy Martelli just got off the bench with a roar, the associate head coach for VCU.
The entire bench is hyped. That's their best defensive possession of the game so far. We talked about trying to get Day Reeves and Christian Henry involved. Well, they had mismatches, but you talk about the length, the quickness of Djokovic and also Evans. They're able to guard smaller players with ease. It's just the versatility and what all 5 defenders can do at one single time to be that positionless, guard multiple players. It's something for Phil Martelli Jr. There's so many options now. You're almost twiddling your thumbs in your hands like a mad scientist coming up with different defensive approaches.
Jacobs with a physical screen to free up Reeves. Schulte orchestrating. Playing some mind games, spins back on Djokovic and able to use the window to his benefit.
And he tells Day Reeves to move away. You vacate one side and create a one-on-one situation where VCU can't bring the double and send help.
Schulte's made all 3 of his attempts from the field. Hill cuts back inside, lost his footing a bit, spins back in on Henry. Evans back up to Tracy. 10 on the timer. Tracy against Aurora Core, floats it up, a Core got a piece. They view Aurora Core as the best potential NBA prospect on this Fordham team.
And the best part, Mike, he's fearless. That's what you love, his mindset. He was chomping at the bit to get back. And a Core, you have a lot more you can do with those 2 forwards.
Pretty adaptable pieces, and they really only feel there's 3-4 games this year where they've actually had everybody available in that front court. Reeves got his man in the air and finishes. Barry Evans may have got a piece of him.
And one of the keys for Mike McPile, shot fakes, especially with the shot blockers VCU has. You want to put that ball in the air, get your defender up, and try and get yourself some shooting fouls.
That fell off, stays with VCU. Aurora Core from Melbourne, Australia. That has been a pipeline for Mike Magpio at his previous stop at UC Riverside. And the ball stolen by Schulte, carried up by a Core. Ball got knocked out of his hands by Hill. Committed the foul on the other end a moment ago, his first. This belongs with Fordham just about 3 minutes into this second half.
And VCU right now has gone almost 2.5 minutes without a basket for him, trying to chip into this lead down by 12. Can they cut it into single digits while VCU is still struggling on the other end?
They've led by as many as 16 a few moments ago. Henry gives, Schulte rolls, slap at the backboard. Djokovic didn't impede the ball. Jennings now over to Djokovic. Back up to Tracy. Good find and the finish from Brandon Jennings.
And VCU just lulls you to sleep. You think that's going to be a flash for a dribble handoff at the top of the key, but Jennings has Christian Henry react just a second late. V-cut right to the basket, and Henry gets lost in the mix.
That ain't a flash, that's a flush. Reeves bodied by Jennings, who just picked up his 3rd personal Atlantic 10, so numbers can be deceiving, but their defensive analytics do pile up pretty well. They've held VCU to 40. Going down the lane. The putback. Schulte, 4 of 4 from the field, and trying to buoy Fordham's hopes here.
And that's where Fordham has to be more aggressive on the offensive glass. That's 7 offensive rebounds that they've been able to convert. Only 4 second chance points, so they're still leaving points off the table.
Bell, push shot. Schulte got hit from behind. His most successful program at Fordham at the moment. And we'll see how VCU's free throw shooting is in the second half. On we go. It's a 12-point VCU lead. They've been in control throughout. Fordham has not led. Rams of VCU have won 5 in a row. Fordham have taken their last 2. Looking for just their 9th 3-game winning streak or longer in A-10 play in over 30 years. Henry on the drive. Henry pushed away by Djokovic. Back over to Bell. Noel, former UConn Husky. That did get tapped by a Fordham player. They can play it in the backcourt. Ward. Here's Noel, the sophomore. In his first year with VCU, Bell Against Schulte, Bell drops that in the bucket.
Bell likes to go to that spin move, and as I noted, if Schulte is going to play drop and he's going to be deep in the paint, you're giving 4 or 5 feet to your guard, and you're allowing him to step in and take that space. And for Bell, that's exactly what he wants. He wants to get into contact, he wants to absorb it and finish around the rim.
Reeves for 3, that's good. First made 3 for Fordham tonight. They're 1 of 9 from downtown. Reeves has 13.
And that's been the one weakness for him during conference play, just 17% from distance, but a much-needed 3 and great defense. Good hands by Schulte down low.
Knocked it away from Djokovic. Henry, he wanted something. Instead, it's Jacobs. Djokovic got hammered as he went up for the rebound, winning the game. They shot over 50% from beyond the arc in the second half, and Reeves 17% from beyond the arc in A10 play. That was a big one for him too. Noel, let's fly. The putback jam by Barry Evans. Woo! Barry Evans slams it down.
Barry Evans has had multiple highlight plays in Fordham going to that 2-3 zone, gave up the 3, but nobody boxes out.
The core of that got blocked. And Ward wants the throw ahead. It never got there. First double-digit scoring game of the new year for Evans, and the three-pointer from Hill is good.
Win over in Pittsburgh, but a team like VCU, a team like George Mason, if they can put together a couple of wins, now the A10 gets those multiple bids.
Yeah, if you're VCU, you've got Dayton coming up, their whiteout game on A10 Friday on ESPN2. Friday 10, whatever the branding is, you get the point.
Yep.
They still play at St. Louis as well. 5 to shoot. Lesmon's got to go. Lesmon fades. Off front rim, offensive rebound, Aurora Core. He had a wide open lane to go right back to the basket.
And that's the growing pains for a freshman, not knowing they should go right back up. He's looking to find Day Reeves, finding one of the more experienced players to reset. But if you're Aurora Core, that fearlessness, you got to get after it.
And Reeves has to get after it now. Caught in the restricted area and got slammed.
32% from the floor, 1 of 10 from 3. This has been a defensive clinic for Phil Martelli Jr. and his Rams.
Djokovic, who just came back in. Tracy rippled the net. Air ball, shot clock stays at 12. Noel got it in. Tracy gets a little closer this time. That time too strong. And Bodija able to wrestle it free.
You know, partner, that's another instance where Barry Evans is able to crash the glass and nobody puts a body to box him out. Luckily, he gets called for the over-the-back foul, but Barry Evans has really had his way in terms of getting on the glass against the Fordham bigs.
Well, Fordham feels a bit of havoc, but ultimately Jacobs gives to Reeves, who crosses the timeline. Fordham having to operate into the shot clock. Schulte is fouled. Got bailed. Can really let you hit the ground run a little bit faster.
Yeah, it allows you to establish your culture and have guys who can amplify the message that you're trying to send.
Tipped away from Djokovic. Reeves went 0 to 60, drops it off. Jacobs a triple, short.
And those are the opportunities in transition where Fordham has to take advantage of wide open threes.
Yep. This thrown into the backcourt. Lesmon would do well not to touch it. Don't touch it. There it is. Over and back. Lesmon each have 3 fouls. Into Tracy. Jennings. Lesmon steps out. Approaching midway point in the second half. Djokovic. 7 points, 8 boards against Loyola Chicago. He's already outscored that performance tonight. But stuck on 9. Henry for Fordham still without a field goal, by the way. Not a typical way of winning. That's not it from Bodija. Adrian Tracy dropping. Thrown to Djokovic. And he got third on Henry. Sometimes you just got to take a win, my man.
Again, the sacrifices, you got to let your guards stay out there. You need them to get the ball.
Henry puts
tonight for VCU.
We've hovered in this 10 to 12 point game margin for about 2 minutes now.
And I think it's really changed with this zone. VCU hasn't been able to get the good shot selection. They're really trying to get this ball to the middle of the floor.
Jennings comes up the hill, quickly doubled, rolled into the corner. Djokovic got Jacobs in the air, goes toward the rim, and got hit. And it's an 11-point game. He is in double figures, though, Djokovic. He's got 11. Jacobs. Schulte. Jennings did well to cover that back cut. Roracore. Stuck in the corner. 8 to shoot. Henry's got to go to work. Henry puts it up. Tip out. Jacobs spins away. Didn't hold on to the ball. Ward goes to the ground. And the arrow goes to Fordham.
Bonus, so you can cut into this deficit with the clock stopped, but you've got to knock them down.
Or you get the offensive rebound. What can you make from it? Akor puts it up, puts it in. Roracore from downtown, closest it's been in the second half.
Roar wasn't looking for 2. He was looking for a trifecta, cut this down to 8, and all of a sudden, Rose Hill Gym, the energy has revamped.
Ward inside on Schulte, ripped out of bounds, belongs to Fordham. Last touch a few minutes ago, and it's down to 8. Fordham's got the basketball.
And partner, after VCU took 10 threes in the first half, Fordham is throwing more of that 2-3 zone out, but VCU's only taken 4 shots from beyond the arc, so they haven't been as willing to play through the perimeter like we saw in the first 20 minutes.
Reeves gets the ball. In on Noel, lost his dribble, back up to Henry. 8 assists despite going 0 of 7 from the field. Back over to Reeves. Got Noel in the air on the shot fake, got inside, tries to lean it up. Schulte, no. Jacobs, yes.
And that was the issue against Loyola Chicago. Nobody boxing out, and you're able to crash that offensive glass, and the size of Fordham finally starting to make their presence felt on the boards.
And Djokovic is feeling something. He's hobbled. VCU playing through it. Ball got tipped. Fordham can run. Schulte over to Henry.
They've got numbers.
Roracore for 3. Off the heel, up into the air, pulled in by Hill. And Djokovic is really struggling. You can see he's holding his abdomen and then reaching down to the ground. He spoke to the official a minute ago about potentially, I think, stopping the game to get him out. And in the end, he is going to stay in. Into Bell, high post. Muscles into Schulte, who taps it away and career high against St. Joe's. Comfortably back to 8 for VCU. Jacobs, another harsh screen, gets it back. Jacobs, got it. Akira Jacobs nails a 3, and Fordham suddenly is hit 4 of 9 from downtown in the half.
And Barry Evans has to know the scout. You can't play drop coverage when Akira Jacobs is your assignment. You have to get out there and close out. Jacobs has been shooting over 35% from down.
Fordham can make it a 1-possession game. Fordham has held 8 of 9 opponents below their season scoring average by an average of about 8 points a game. They held GW 19 under their season average. VCU averages 84. They've scored 54.
And partner, the pace has slowed down. That favors Fordham.
Reeves, drive, knocked away, belongs to VCU.
As Phil Martelli Jr. would have anticipated coming into this game.
Djokovic comes back in and does not have to deal with Rikas Schulte, by the way. Instead, it's a Bospo Dija because Schulte's on the bench with the 4 fouls. Long 3, Hill, rimmed out. Evans held it in at the baseline. Bell on the drive, 5 minutes to go. Djokovic gives, here's Hill. Back to Djokovic, down the lane, scoops, didn't go.
Get a pick and roll with Akira Jacobs. See if Barry Evans is going to play drop or if he's going to come out to guard the perimeter. If not, you can either attack the paint or kick it out for a wide open 3.
Lesmond got the edge into Jacobs. Jacobs rolls it home.
And that's the second time Barry Evans has gotten lost in the mix. He's ball watching, waiting to see if Fordham's going to use dribble penetration, and he loses Jacobs in the paint.
Evans Fordham over-rotating. Hill on the slower Lesmond. Now they got Reeves to get a piece of it, right to Lesmond. And Lesmond crosses the timeline with 4:18 to play in a 5-point game.
And I'm just shocked. VCU not playing on the perimeter. They're trying to force that pass in the middle, and that's just not what you need. You're a good three-point shooting team. Find the corners, find the wings.
Reeves rolls it in, up by 3.
Partner, the 2-3 zone out again. Fordham is making it work, and VCU has been unable to find any good threes.
Hill got it inside. Ward against Bodija finds Bell cutting. Got turned away by Jacobs. Hill was an option. Ward on the drive. Back up to Bell. 8 to shoot. Hill against Lesmond. Drives inside. Lesmond got a piece. Back out to the corner. 1 to shoot. Push shot. Didn't go. Put back up. Djokovic got hit. Game has not been tied since 17 minutes remaining in the first half at 4-4.
And Schulte will be in there with the 4 personal fouls.
Over to Roracor. He bounced inside the three-point line to catch the pass. Nearly sniffed out by Ward. Reeves with 10. Game high 17. Up to Jacobs, 5 to shoot. Lesmond got under the basket and used it as protection. Sneak it up under Bell.
And that's the first made basket of the night for Louis Lesmond, who's really have a tough shooting season. But again, being able to take that free baseline drive and good acrobatic finish over Bell.
Fordham in the bonus, VCU in the double bonus. Each team a couple timeouts. Ward stops back up and in. And Schulte with the 4 fouls couldn't lean in.
No choice, has to try and stay as vertical as possible, and that allows Ward to be as aggressive as he wants to be.
Teams trading baskets down the stretch here in the Bronx. Reeves. Akor into Schulte. Has Bell behind him. Clearing space. Schulte spins. And the rebound yanked in by Ward. That was a big defensive stand from VCU.
And now Fordham will need a defensive stand on their own if they want to keep this a 2-possession game.
Hill tries to blow by Lesmond into Djokovic. Couldn't get it out to Bell. Instead, across the paint, out to Hill. Fly by Hill. Off the heel. That is a foul on.
Active hands in the passing lanes to blow that up.
VCU just 2 of 6 from downtown in the half. And Fordham does come out in that zone once again. Djokovic cutting across Lesmond, who lets him go by. It's Jennings. Back up to Hill. Super scorer, typically super sub. Hill, they've run 20 seconds off the clock. Djokovic outside the arc. The switch onto Reeves. Hill, time running down. He throws it underneath. The dunk doesn't